I am your humble servant. And it is my pleasure now to present the final award of the day. And there's just going to be one presentation, and then we can continue to party hardy. This is the Lifetime Achievement Award. And it's being presented to somebody who, talk about a humble servant, talk about somebody who has done nothing but give to the people of this industry year after year after year. Let me read the inscription on this beautiful piece of art that will hang on his wall very proudly. The Lifetime Achievement Award is being presented to our friend, radio's best friend, Art Vuolo, on June 8th, 2018 at Talkers 2018 in New York City, in recognition of his decades serving the radio industry as an astute historian and video chronicler of the industry's leading conventions. You notice this year he didn't do it. He actually got to be here as a conventioner, and he deserves it. In recognition of his archiving the very best radio personalities on video since 1979, preserving clear and accurate images of some of the greatest on-air legends in studio doing their shows, in many cases, the only recorded documents of these figures in existence, which is crazy, but it's true. We all know how much of radio has been lost, disappeared, tapes have been erased, TV tapes, the first Carson Tonight shows are gone because they needed the video for re-recording. I mean, it's crazy. Only recently do we have this kind of stuff, and Art Vuolo's documentation is so good that this is in recognition of his entire library being featured in a permanent exhibit soon to be unveiled at the National Radio Hall of Fame in Chicago, and in recognition of his years of truly being radio's best friend, a guy with a heart of gold, the size of Jupiter. Let's have a warm welcome for our hero, Art Vuolo.
Whoa!
Now, before you make your speech, let's take our picture.
All right, picture first.
This is yours.
Send
the frame back with you.
Set it down because I need this for my my notes.
Do whatever you want to do.
Here, hold on to that, Jim. Jim Bohannon, he was good today. I mean, well, he's good all the time, but he was especially good today. Anyway, I gotta spread my notes out here, and I'm not gonna read this because I hate when people come to podiums and just read stuff. And I think that's kind of cheap, but this is just to help me keep myself together the best I can. I do love radio. I think everybody in the room that knows me knows that I love radio. I've loved it. Jeez. People have been taking bets as to where I'm going to break down. I don't want to break down. Anyway, so, but when I was a kid, WIRE in Indianapolis, 1430 on the dial, an AM radio station, and this is the radio I had. It's a little rocket shaped, and you would pick up the closest station with this little thing, and then you take this and stick it in your ear. So I fell asleep every night listening to WIRE, great call letters, which of course they let go, which was foolish. I was listening to a guy named Bernie Herman on a show called Night Beat. WIRE was a very much full-service type radio station, but from 10 to midnight they played top 40 hits. And I fell asleep with it. It had no battery, so it was nothing to run down. And so I listened to this, and I, of course, at the time, had no idea how much damage I was doing to myself. But Bernie went on to a great talk radio career, some of you may remember, at WCAU, which is now WPHT 1210 in Philadelphia. But my actual mentor was a gentleman named Jim Shelton, the late Jim Shelton at WIBC in Indianapolis. WIBC, some of you know now, is a big news talk radio station, but back in the late 50s, it was a a full service station, but don't check the oil. And you can actually hear they were playing top 40 hits, but it was a potpourri of stuff. And Jim was the #1 personality in the state of Indiana at the time. I used to help him with record hops and hand him big ETs, which did not stand for extraterrestrials. The ETs were electrical transcriptions that the commercials were on these big platters, and his show was called Platter Party on WIBC. And the thing that was amazing about him, he would remote every night from a different car dealer. And this is a man who could be selling Chevrolets one night and with total conviction sell Fords the next night. And that kind of talent is almost missing from radio these days because we don't have a lot of on-air salesmen. Everything is pre-recorded and stuff like that. But that's just the way it goes. But I do have a deep love for radio, no matter what the format. And that goes for AM, FM, quadraphonic. We all remember that. AM digital, HD, Sirius XM, and now internet radio. I do a lot of my listening, in fact, on my cell phone because I'm able to punch up stuff from all over the country. When I was a little kid, I thought it would be so cool to have a portable radio with switches on the back for different cities. I could push New York, and the radio would get all the stations as though I was in New York. I'd push Chicago. Everything would play like I'm in Chicago. And now, with the internet, you can actually do that, which is incredible. So I have and by the way, in case you're wondering, I have 42 radios in my house, okay? But no echo yet, okay? But my collection of air checks, I've got over 1,000 air checks of great people from all over the country, but it all started not at a 5,000 watt station in Fresno, but it all started at KWK in St. Louis, which my friend Rob Milford was doing the news, and he was the first person that I stuck a camera in front of, and he's the one that called me when he read about it in Talkers from Michael Harrison. So I was shocked and amazed. So my thanks to Michael Harrison, who I consider to be my twin brother from another mother. The only difference, of course, is that he's Jewish and I'm Italian. And we all know that Italians and Jews are very much alike. In fact, I would say that Italians are nothing more than Catholic Jews. That's all we are. We're both cheap people, and we feel guilty about it. But it's nice to be recognized for a lifetime of work while I'm still alive, because it's better to be seen than viewed. That's right. So I should thank everybody in the room. But Michael said keep it brief, so I'm going to keep it brief. I'm trying to hold it together, Michael. Now you should be very happy. All right. I'm not crying enough. All right. So I want to thank everybody in the room, especially Mike McVeigh, who said I had to mention his name, and of course Julie Talbot and all my dear friends who are in the room. Anyway, last thing I want to mention is the voting is going on for the Hall of Fame. I urge you all to vote for, I know that Jim Kerr and Kid Kelly getting my votes. I was very sad this year that Harry Harrison, the morning mayor of New York Radio, is not on the ballot this year, which is a shame. And neither was Joey Reynolds. They both should have been on, but maybe next year. So however many more years that God grants me on this earth, I wish that I could get a grant from the government so I could keep doing this, because nobody pays me to do it. I am really happy that my hobby has turned into such a record of the radio industry. It's fantastic. And I want to express my gratitude to Talkers for this highly emotional event for me. So thank you very much. And I did it without crying. I can't believe it. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Stay here because Michael has something important to say.
Now, one more quick thing. This party has been sponsored. Thank you, Art. You want to speak again? This party's been sponsored by our friends at Newsmax.